In this week's video, we're stuck in a lot of traffic. In Race A, Race B sees me become a nice little lawnmower. And in Race C, well, we try and avoid a little bit of carnage as we get a crash. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023. This is week 14, and in this one, it's all about traffic. Traffic, as you've probably seen in the little shorts that we just did before this video started, and also what you're seeing in the background as well. There are lots of cars in very close proximity in all three races. First up, as you can see, Tsukuba, and we're in the Mazda 3. What else are we doing? Well, we're doing 6 laps. It's a grid start around comfort soft tyres. Now, there are some timestamps there if you want to skip over Race A, because Race A is very hard to overtake on. There is a lot of racing action, though, because everybody is so close together. Without further ado, then, let's jump into that first race. Let's have a look exactly what happens, and I'll give you a lap guide at the very end. Here we are then at the start. Obviously, everybody in a Mazda 3. Only 12 players because it is Race A. And it's a grid start. Now, I put traction control on. It's not really needed. They're not really that fast, if we're brutally honest. But even so, off we go. Here we go then. And one key thing with this car is don't over-rev it, because you hit the limiter very quickly. So it's actually better to shift a little bit earlier than you think. So we're going to head towards turn 1. I decided to try around the outside, knowing everybody's going to take that inside line. So here we go, around the outside. Going to try it around Hodgson as well. Through we go. Just get up there into P11, man. You can see this long train of cars then as we head towards turn 2 and into the braking zone we go, and everyone's slowing down because it's a very slow and compact race. You can see how wide the cars actually are. Very hard to overtake as well, because there's no real huge advantage and disadvantages here. It's a very easy car to drive, which just means some good racing. And you've seen that already here. Nobody's actually died here as we head towards the hairpin. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. I'm not too sure. In we go then. Oh, there's a slight tap there between two drivers, but everybody sorts themselves out. Through we go, and it's still side-by-side action. We got Sterling up ahead, side-by-side with Chicken Angel there. Look at TCR everywhere. Now, if you do want to join TCR, check out the description. There's going to be an update to the team very soon, so keep an eye out for that as well as we head into the right-hander. Oh, a little bit of contact there between a couple of people. Sterling losing out a little bit here. We're going to get on the inside. Tidgney, I just have to back off a little bit there as we continue on through. Still in P11. Some good racing, though, so far as we start lap number 2 then. And once again, into that braking zone. Tidgney down the inside there. Little bit of understeer, it looks like, between the two. We're getting on the inside of both of them, then through we go. And we are looking like we're in P9 here, but we're side by side. Marcus and Chicken Angel side by side ahead as well as we head into here. This time not getting that weird oversteer. Oh, there's a contact between Marcus and Sonic there as we go through that left hand. Then Tidgney looks like they're going to get this done. Look at this. Look how close this is. This is what I mean with this race, you know. It's all about traffic. But my word, is it close racing action. And everybody is racing clean. Yes, there's a little bit of contact here and there. But look how small Tsukuba is as a circuit. It's tiny, and these cars are massive. There's no such thing as like a hot hatch anymore. They're all massive cars. Look at the old Mini to the new Mini. Taming here as Sterling went around the outside here. Gets that position. We're back down to P11 now. Back down to P11. We're meant to be going up, not down the grid, as we continue on towards the last corner. What an exciting few laps we've had so far as we head into that braking zone. Then I'm going to look around the outside. Is it going to work here? It probably won't. No, it doesn't there. Going to try and maybe get the cut back then as we accelerate through the corner. We're catching up to Sterling very quickly within that corner. He did all the exit curb there, and we just hit the limiter there. That's what you got to be careful of as we head down in towards turn 1 again. I'm looking down the inside. Oh, looks like Tidgney and Marcus came together. Tidgney looks like regave that position back. Continue on through. Tidgney loses out to Sterling, then Sterling up into P9. We're still going here with the racing action. So I'm looking and I'm going to go, okay, let's try around the outside then. Very hard to do on this corner because the camber really helps being on the inside. In fact, it helps so much. So we're going to head off to the rails. We're actually going back down to P12. Hodgson there, taking full advantage of that. We've had lap number 4 now, where things haven't really changed. We're in this line of cars through the right-hander. We go, and Hodgson's just going to head off there. I know they're going to come back and have dirt on their tyres, so I go for that cut back here, looking to try and get the move done as we head down in towards the hairpin. Now, this is a corner you can go on the outside of here because you get a better run on the exit, but Hodgson there just gives it up a bit earlier there, and we're up into P11. We've had to the final lap then, when we did eventually catch up to Sterling here as we head into the final corner. Then can we get the move done, get up into P10 at least here, as we send it in. Look at that, still side by side up ahead. This is good racing, to be fair. If you want side by side action, it is a good race to do here. You've seen that throughout this race. In fact, we've had side by side throughout most of it, to be honest with you. We just fell back a little bit at the very end. So a good race to try out there. I do recommend this one. Let me give you a lap, guys, just to help you out that little bit more then. Heading towards turn 1, you're braking just after the 50-meter board, actually where the fence starts on the left-hand side, okay? You're braking as that hits the edge of your screen, and you want to take a wider line in here. You want to try and carry as much speed as you can. Notice I'm waiting, really trying to wait until the very end there before I clip the curb and continue on through, maintaining that speed as much as possible. Leave that corner, remember, avoid hitting that limiter, so change a bit earlier than you realize. As we head into this left-hander, so as the curb straightens up is what I'm aiming for here. If you look for the end of the curb, essentially, and try and get as close to that as possible. And remember, try and widen this corner as much as possible. It's very easy to just point and V it. But in this situation, in this car, it's actually better to take a much wider line in and carry that momentum and speed. Heading towards the right-hander then, it's a slight lift here. You can dab the brakes a little bit. It depends on the situation, of course. But literally, the orange barrier to the white barrier there on the left-hand side, that is your marker as you go through here. I'm trying to keep above 60 miles an hour there, which we do. Through the left we go, over towards that right-hand side, then back over towards that left-hand side as we head towards the next braking zone. You got a choice here. You got the 50-meter board on the left, or what I prefer using, that lamppost on the right. As that leaves the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the anchors, which is the brakes, if you didn't know that. And in we go. So we're trying to slow the car a lot here, try and get it turned and accelerate out as quick as possible as we leave that corner. So lots of slowing the car down, probably more than you expect to in this car, to really then boost it out of corners as we continue towards the final corner. The car disappeared there. Look at that. As we head into this final corner, I'm actually using the start of the pit entry line on the right-hand side as it splits away from the track, or the pit side. You can use either of these. Critical thing here is you're trying to maintain a decent speed through this corner, so try not to go below 70 miles an hour. You notice that I keep 70 miles an hour, and that is a lap of Tsukuba in the Mazda 3. Hopefully that helps, but next up is race B, where we're at the Nurburgring. We're specifically at the Nurburgring short circuit, okay? The short circuit for the Nurburgring. So we're testing out the new layout, essentially, and we're in Group 4 machinery, as you can tell, in my TCR liveried Nissan Silvia. Right, what are we doing then? Well, we're doing 6 laps here. It's a rolling start. The rolling start is good. Unfortunately, we are on the racing hard tires, but even so, that does not hamper the racing here at all. There's lots of traffic in race A. There's lots of traffic in race B, which means a lot of racing action here. There is tons of it. It is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love this race. And you're going to love it too, I think. So let's head to that race now, and let's have a look exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start. Mixture of cars in this one. We got Subaru WRXs. They're back in the mix. We've got a Tenzas. The Tenza was actually doing very well on the leaderboards. I'm in a Nissan Silvia though, as this felt like a very good car to use here, as it can handle the corners quite well. And we saw how well it was at Brands Hatch. We jumped straight into the race action. Nothing really happened at the rolling start. However, we are right behind in petrol we trust. They're obviously not going to go to electric cars here as we head down the inside then at the chicane. Very dangerous move to do. They back out of that, seeing that I'd gone for that move, and it's actually a really good move in the end. Good racing there with the Swiss driver in petrol we trust. Right, we've got Inferno Fox and a part of TCR, of course, in that Bugatti Veyron. What a choice of car that is as we go through here, and you're noticing a lot of side-by-side action now as everybody clumps up together. We've got somebody way off the circuit there. We've got Sean in a Silvia. We've got the Tenza. The Veyron's still there. Inferno Fox in towards this hairpin then. Oh, slight tap between the two there. Inferno Fox is just backing out of that now, making sure they don't lose the position up ahead, and they don't. In fact, Inferno Fox loses out to me because I take advantage of it as we head in to the left. Now, Hodgson up ahead does have a YouTube channel. You can check them out as we head in to the right-hander, and through we go. Let's try and get advantage over that Alfa Romeo into the gravel Lego. Then that's going to slow them down, and we know this Alfa is not good in a straight line. Looking down the inside of them then as we head towards the chicane. We've got Sean and Mattia there, both racing each other as they settle in then in towards the chicane we go. Everybody's slowing up here. I just give enough room there for the Alfa Romeo. Through we go, up into P10. Some beautiful racing here as we continue on out then. Mattia in that fake taxi, a Tenza. What is fake taxi? Does anybody know? I don't know what it is. Anyway, continuing on through there as we get a run as they go a little bit deep through that last corner as we head towards turn 1. Now we have the Alfa behind. Now I was a little bit worried here. Are they going to go for it? Are they not? Let's see what happens then as we head down in towards turn 1. They are looking down the inside then in towards this braking zone we go, and I'm sticking to the middle of the road. Middle of the road, I don't know why I'm singing. But we continue on out of that corner then. We're still side by side as everybody else is up ahead. Look at that. They're three wide there through the left-hander. Chelsea in the Audi TT. Let's advance to that next pack then. Look at this. We're right in the thick of the action here. We've got Shelty, Sean, Tidgney there. I'm not sure who's ahead of Tidgney. Sean looking down the inside. A little bit of contact between the two as they lead that corner. Tidgney just touches the gravel there. Going to get pushed out a little bit as we're going to take advantage, as does Shelty. Shelty looking down the inside of Sean then in that Falcon Sylvia as we head up towards the chicane then. Now this one, I'm going to have to brake a bit early here just to slow it down. The Alfa Romeo dives out the way there. Has some beautiful recovery, or not recovery, safe driving sportsmanship is what I'm after there. Avoiding the contacts by absolutely sliding off themselves there. So well played there indeed. That's awesome like stuff. And that's what TCR is all about. You know, if you can avoid contact, you try it. Oh, that wave tap between the two up ahead. Shelty gives that back up. So I take full advantage once again. And we're up into P7 then. We have Sean in that Falcon Sylvia then. So Sylvia versus Sylvia heading towards turn one. Just get down the inside here as we head into that braking zone. We're trying the out braking. In we go. And through we go. Still side by side with Sean then. A little bit of contact there as we go into this left now. I was always going to go for the cutback here. It's what I always do when they're on the inside. Try and beat it out of here as quick as possible. Sean's got a bit deep then. In towards the left we go. Slowing the car down. Get on that inside. The grippy bit there. Through we go, and in towards the right we go, and Sean just backs out of that. There we go, job done. It's very close to contact, but no contact made. We continue on then towards the next pack. We got Lion then in the Atenza as we go into that left. We have to slow it down a bit more than I expected there. Through we go. Lion's got a good run on Soggy Bottom Boys then. In towards the right hand. There we go. They just back out of that a little bit. Unfortunately for them, they're going to hit barrier there. Completely hit barrier. Slows me down massively. That's going to give me damage as well and give Sean a really good run on me then. So the fight is not over here. Sylvia versus Sylvia. Once again, Lion leaves. I'm not surprised, you know. It's a bit embarrassing hitting that pit wall there, isn't it? I've done it before anyway. In towards the braking zone we go then. Sean on the inside. I'm on the outside here as we go into beautiful racing here as we continue on out. And the racing carries on. Sean's still on my outside. I'm on the inside here. I'm hoping to get a good run out of this corner as we do. Do we not? I'm not too sure. Sean's still there. In towards the next one we go. Side by side. Beautiful racing this. Absolutely beautiful. Sean on that inside. Very much alongside here as we continue on through. Sean gets it done. Well played. Oh, hello. Oversteer there. We don't want that. We managed to save it though. Chelsea gets the position then and we're just ahead of Tidgney then. In towards the braking zone we go. And it looks like we keep P7 for now. Beautiful racing there though, Sean. Real big shout out to you. That was awesome to have that side by side. We've had two lots of side by sides now with you. So some beautiful racing there as we go through the left and then in to the right now. Chelsea in the ICT. Obviously, it's going to be a bit quicker in a straight line as we continue on through there. So that's a bit further on then past the chicane. She had to look for the move. Sean goes defensive then as we look to slow it down as we go through here. There's a, I think there's a slight bit of contact between the two again there. Chelsea did back off. Now they're in the race again. I'm not too sure though, but I'm going to give Chelsea a good old bum draft here. Go on, Chelsea. Go for it, son. Down the inside you go. In towards the braking zone. Can I follow Chelsea? That'd be interesting. No, I back out of this completely then as we go into the right-hander. And Chelsea does get it done here, but we're going to have a good race with Sean once again as Sean looking down the inside. Oh, slight contact between the two. Sean backs out of that. Good sportsmanship there. See, a little bit of contact here there is expected when there's that much traffic here. I'm looking down the inside of Sean. Sean going around the outside there. Sean looking for that move here as we go towards that right-hander there. Oh, slight tap with Tidgney. Launching down the inside there. Not really sure it's an overtaking spot there. Oh, oversteer galore as we try and avoid Sean coming back on the circuit then. In towards the right-hander we go. Slight tap there. Nothing major. Tidgney apologized for that after as well. It's all good, Tidgney. Don't you worry. I know small contact's going to happen in this race because it's so close. The racing action is so close as we go into that left then. And we're ahead of Sean. Once again, we're in our favorite position. Of course we are as we go through the right-hander. Continue on out. Now, I need a really good launch on this chicane. I've not shown you a really good chicane yet. You'll see it in the track guide, of course you will. But I need a really good chicane in this race. Let's see if we can jump Chelsea on the final corner. Sean looking everywhere then. In towards the braking zone we go. I'm going to... I was going to say stay in third gear because that's the gear to be in. Go through here. We get a bit too much oversteer though. Off into the grass and Sean's going to be coming back on. I'm trying to come back on as clean and as best as I can. In towards the final corner we go. Tidgney got the advantage well down the inside. We're going to come home in P8 in the end. Beautiful racing from everybody there. That was beautiful. I love that race. That was awesome racing. I'm going to do more of that race this week, I am sure. Race B is a banger. B for banger. That's what that is. Right, what do you do here? Need to give you a track guide, don't I? Of course I do. So let's jump to a track guide then. I'm going to head towards turn 1. And what you're looking for is on the left-hand side here. The actual end of that tarmac piece on the left-hand side. It's just before the 100-meter board. And that is when you're going to brake. You can brake early. You can brake late. You brake later, you're going to go deeper. Early is better because you get on the power earlier and you can really clip that corner if you can. Through we go. Be careful overstaying some cars. You can see that in the Sylvia. As we go into here, you might want to dab the brake a little bit as I do there. And what you're looking for here is either the long post that you can see there highlighted or the orange barrier, which is just there as well. So you're using either of those essentially as we go through that left-hander. Continue on out, then use all the curb. And what you're looking for here is the lamppost on the left-hand side. Literally, as that leaves the edge of your screen, that is when you're going to brake again. Okay, so literally as it leaves the screen, brake. And you want to get on the grippy bit on the left-hand side here, okay? Get on the grippy bit, accelerate through this corner as best as you can. Only a slight lift and boot it. Just boot it out of there as best as you can. You carry a lot of speed there. You will gain a lot of time. That's what I found anyway. Head towards the right-hander then. You got the 100-meter board or the start of the red and white curbing on the left-hand side. I prefer the 100-meter board personally because it's a bit shorter. You know, it allows the braking a bit earlier here. Because if you brake too late here, you're going to go way too deep and it's not the best here. You do a V-shape on this one. You want to beat it out of here as best as you can. Be careful of oversteer once again. Straight up towards the 50-meter board or the white line there. You can use either of these. So it's just before the 50 or it's just after the white line. So pick and choose whichever you like for this one. Don't brake too late though because you'll just go too deep. You really want to carry this momentum through this corner. Get over towards that left-hand side as quick as possible. And as that tarmac starts to end on the right-hand side, use that as a bit of a judgment call here. And dab the brake, turn in and try and carry the momentum. Remember, this back straight is a critical part of the straight, okay? Of the lap, sorry, not of the straight. It's a critical part of the straight. Of course it is. Critical part of the lap here. We're going to advance here because it's a long acceleration period as we head towards the chicane. Just before the 100-meter board or the widening of the guttering on the right-hand side there is your brake marker here. Now, you really want to attack this corner for the maximum amount of time here. So you're going to see me absolutely chuck it in left and then chuck it right as best as I can and boot it as quick as possible. There'll be lots of oversteer moments there. Be careful. But that is how you get the lap time. The final corner then is the orange painted barrier on the left-hand side as that hits the edge of your screen. That is your brake marker here. You want to slow the car down. You want to get a little bit rotated if you can. So you may want to drop to a second gear here. I do in the Sylvia. And then up to third gear. You notice it rotates a bit more there. And that is a lap here at the Nurburgring short circuit in Group 4. What a banger race. Speaking of banger races, we've got another one here as we're at Watkins, Glen for race C as we go 3 wide on the TV camera there. It's a beautiful race, this. Absolutely beautiful race. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. So, we're doing 12 laps here at Watkins Glen. It's a rolling start. It's racing car tyres only. ×2 fuel, ×6 tyre wear. And Bop is on. Now, that tyre wear, I think, ruins this race a little bit. It's still a good race. It's still a good race. But I think if that tyre wear was lower, this race would be unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. If there was a pit stop, maybe that would help. But, nah, I reckon if that was a ×3 tyre wear, oh, this race would be unbelievable. That'd be one of the best ever. But, unfortunately, it's ×6. It's still a good race. Let's jump to it now. Let's have a look exactly what happens. And we'll have a look at the lap guide. And also the tyre wear impact on your car choice. Here we are then at the start. Again, mixture of car choices in this one as well. We're in the Supra because the Supra is absolutely rapido in a straight line. And that's why I chose it. We'll see how we get on a little bit later on. We got Wind and Hefidi up ahead. They're both in BMW M6s. So they obviously know something that we don't. Again, we'll see how that goes later on in the race. You can see here, lots of traffic early on here. Lots of people in different cars, which is always good to see in any class of car. It means that there's a bit of balance there as we go through the right-hander. Hefidi all over the back of that McLaren. We're trying to catch up here a little bit. Let's catch up using the art of editing. As we go into this right-hander, we've got 2x2 everywhere. Wind slightly taps the McLaren, which gives us a bit of a good opportunity down the inside. Then Chelsea in that RCZ. The RCZ is now good, by the way. My word, the RCZ is actually a good car. I'm really happy to see that as Wind is looking down the outside here. I have to slow it down here. Got to give Wind some room on that exit. A little bit of oversteer there as we continue on. So I lose that position. I did briefly gain then. In towards the left we go. Wind just avoids contact there. Beautiful bit of racing. Let's continue through here. Oh, slight tap from Ginger from behind. Ginger, not Ginger, that's me, obviously. As we go in towards that left-hander then, through we go. And it's all status quo. Obviously, it was just a mistake there. Right, we're back to lap 2 then, where the racing action kicked off once again. Coming into here then, we've got somebody running a little bit deep there. Not sure who that is. Ransom Hank goes a bit deep. Wind clips him as well after a bit of oversteer. We're getting 2 for 1 there. I was a bit worried about a penalty. Fortunately, I did not get one there. So I'm going to get P9, and the server there had a bit of a moment, didn't it? Everybody moved their left briefly. In towards the right-hander at turn 1 we go. So we're in P9 here. Wind's back into P10. So I want to get past Huston very quickly here, hopefully, just so I can keep that gap to Wind, because I know Wind is very fast. As we continue on through here, Huston goes towards the left, and down the right I go in the Toyota Supra. And you're seeing the speed of this car. This car is unbelievable in a straight line. It is absolutely unbelievable. As we head towards the chicane then, we're going to slow the car down a little bit here. A little bit of wobble on the brakes there, but Shelty keeps that P7 for now in that RCZ, showing how good that car actually is. That's it to lap 4 then. And Wind has overtaken that McLaren as well, and we're behind Shelty here, and we're looking for ways past. So obviously Wind's going to be looking to get past me as very quick as possible. Obviously with this Toyota Supra being so fast, Wind can't do it in a straight line, so Wind really has to find a place to overtake. Can't do it there, so I'm going to keep this position for now as we head up towards this right-hander. Now, this right-hander can get very sketchy on the inside. I noticed that there's a little bit of a bump there, which can force a lot of oversteer in a lot of cars. You really have to progress that throttle. Right, we advance to lap number 5 then, where Wind is still behind me as we go into turn 1. Through we go, and beat it on out of there. Now, can we get a run on Shelty? Wind's got a run on me here initially, but I'm sort of in the way in the Supra. And as we head up the hill then, I'm looking, going to go around the outside. Unfortunately, we no grip on that outside at all, and we have to lift, otherwise we're going to hit barrier. So Wind gets that position. Well played, Wind. That was good. A little bit of strategic drive in there. And the Wind actually going all the way up to P6 then, overtaking Tyre and Shelty as we continue on out there. So Tidgney and Shelty are together here as there's a little bit of contact between them two, and Shelty looks to recover the car there. We're going to go around the outside of Shelty, and we get that position. Happy days indeed. Up into P8. We've got Tidgney then in the Nissan next up. It's lap number 7 now as we continue on through here. Now look at the speed once again. Look at the speed of this car. It is catching so rapid. It's unbelievably quick, this car. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Look at that. Down the inside we go then, looking to get the car stopped, and through we go up into P7. This car is ridiculous in a straight line. Its only weakness, and you'll see it later on, is tyre wear as we head into this right-hander then. I've got Mike up next with TCR Timmy there as well. Continuing out of that corner, Mike's going to run a bit too wide then, get dirt on their tyres, and they're also going to get a 0.5-second penalty, which appears now. Right, okay, here we go then. So I knew Mike had dirt on the tyres there, so I knew they were going to go deep here, so I was always going to give him space. And we continue on through. Now, if I was Mike here, I would have given this up, but Mike wants to fight it, so there's going to be a little bit of a tap there, forces me out wide here, a bit frustrating. So at this moment, I'm like, okay, well, you know, Mike, I assumed you didn't want to lose time, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back at you now as we go on through there. Not in a bad way, just as in I would have saved time, but not in this situation, because I've lost a lot of time there. So through the right-hander we go, a little clip of the barrier, and once again you're about to see the speed of this Toyota Supra then, as we're going to look down the inside then and get the job done. So this is where it loses a lot of time just going down that inside, and there we go, job done. So Mike's actually going to run a bit wide there, probably going to get another penalty to boot with that actually, as we're up into our favourite position, it's P6. Now we do catch up to Timmy then in the Supra as well, having the same struggles as me. If you look at my tyre wear down in that bottom left-hand side, it's low. And you see Timmy is struggling there with that understeer. Going to head in towards this braking zone then. And I just slightly tapped him here. Wasn't on purpose or in the slightest, so I'll let them go there. I'm actually going to whack my hazards on there. Hopefully they'll see them just to apologise. There you go as we continue on. So now we're back into racing situations. You know, Timmy's gone there. That gap back to what it was as we go into this right-hander. And Tidgney all over the back of me now. As I say, we're going to look at the tyre wear at the very end of this race just to see the differences between the cars. We've got the two BMWs leading the way, so they're obviously doing very well here, while the Supra's here seems to be struggling a bit more in my opinion. We've got an AMG up ahead. I think that is struggling, and this side behind doing very well. We are going to go through the cars, as I say, as see what happens. See what happens in terms of tyre wear and which car you should pick as we go through the left-hander then. Timmy keeping that position then for now as we head towards this fast left. So this is slowing the car down a little bit, allowing the momentum to carry us through then, as I nearly get choking up there as we head into this right-hander. Once again, slowing the car down, boost it out of there as best as we can. We get a really good run here on Timmy. That's all, folks, he says on the back. We're going to go down the inside of Timmy then. We need to get this job done very quickly. In towards the braking zone we go. And we get it stopped. Through we go then. See ya is 1.8 seconds up the road. I did try and round it there, but no, it's 1.8. It's not quite 2 seconds. But we have to focus behind. We've got TCR Timmy, TCR Tiegi, TCR Hudson, and I'm sure Shelty's in there as well as we go through the right-hander. I have to defend this now. I know that Supra is quick, but I'm in a Supra as well, so we're both as quick as each other. Timmy goes towards that left, so I'm like, okay, Timmy's not going to go for it now. In towards the braking zone we go. And can I catch Sia before the end of the race as we go through here? That gap coming down very quickly. In fact, it came down so quick. Sia struggling with tyres as well, I suspect. As we go through that left-hander, you can see the understeer there. They're really struggling in that AMG Mercedes then. Can we overtake before the end of the race? We're on the final lap here. Through the left we go. We got one more corner. A good run through here. And we've done it. Oh, we get very close here. Through we go. In fact, we get carried a bit too much speed there. We caught up to them too quickly here. And she is going to get that P4. But well played to Hafidi, Wind, and Plebs there. Getting the top three. And you can see those two types of cars doing very strong there. We saw that with Tiegi behind as well. It looked like they had a bit better tyre wear. We'll have a look at tyre wear after the track guide. Let's jump to that first then. And what do you do at Watkins Glen? I've done this many times. The 300 board on your left-hand side. That is your brake marker. Just after that leaves your screen is when you're going to hit the anchors, okay? So just after the 300, hit the brakes. Going to drop to third gear. Turn in. Be careful of running too wide. There are penalties available to you if you want them there, if you go a bit too wide. Going to beat it up all the way up the hill here and head over towards the left-hand side. And what we're looking for here, again, is the 300 board. The 300 board seems quite popular in the Toyota Supra. So literally, just as you get to that, you see I'm just about to start braking here. That is when you're going to hit the brakes here. Now, you want to carry a bit less speed at the first part and then really ramp up the speed through the second part. That's where you're going to gain the advantage here. Slow it down a little bit here, and what you're looking for then is that piece of emergency road there that the emergency vehicles use to come onto the circuit. It's before the marshal box here. I'm starting to accelerate now. I'm starting to use that throttle a little bit here. I'll let off a little bit, then go when I see the marshal box and continue on through. I could have used a bit more of the circuit there, which means I didn't have to lift off potentially. The left-hander here, you're going to see me go a bit deep on this lap in particular, but you do use the 200 board. You actually use before the 200 board, okay? It's before the 200 board you will brake and slow the car down. Try and get rotated as best as you can. Now, the end of the fence on that right-hand side, when that hits the edge of your, not edge of your screen, sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. The center of the screen, that is when you accelerate, okay? So when that hits the center of your screen, accelerate out of the corner. Now, you're going to head towards this right-hander then, and what you're looking for here is the 100 board or the Gran Turismo 7 sign if it's not been wiped out. You can use the one on the right if you want to, or the one on the left. You're braking just before this one, okay? Now, I like to keep not a tight line, but sort of like the middle of the road line. You can see where the dark bit is there. If you keep it tight, you're going to get oversteer on the exit. If you keep it a bit more in the middle there, you'll be fine. I get a bit of oversteer on very much on the exit, but I'm on about earlier on in the corner. We're going to head up to the next corner then, and what we're looking for here is the 200 board. Now, I would recommend, with the new physics especially, you brake a bit earlier than the 200 board, okay? Because it seems to me that now we have a bit more understeer there. You just want to brake a bit earlier and allow the momentum to carry on through. You can run a little bit over the curb, don't run too wide. You will get a penalty as we head up the hill. Now, being a hill, obviously, you can brake as late as you want here because the hill will help you with that braking zone. It shortens the braking zone. So I'm trying to get as close to that 100 board as possible, okay? Now, you actually want to take a wider line in, a later apex. Just be careful on exit because you will get a bit of oversteer. And there is also a barrier there, which would love to eat some cars. Now, we've got the 200 board here. Now, you can dab the brakes or lift. It varies depending on the car you're in and also how you're going in your lap, okay? So sometimes I'll dab the brakes. You see a dab of the brakes there. Chuck it in, trying to carry that speed through the corner. I could have actually carried it a bit more speed. Head towards the final corner, then you have a big black right box there. Oh, big black box on the right. I will get my words out correctly. On the right hand side, if that hits your edge of your screen, you can hit the brakes, turn in, or you can try and judge it based on the billboard. Through we go then. Get as close to the wall as possible, and that is the lap of Watkins Glen in Group 3. Right, there's not any bloopers at all, but let's have a look at some of that tyre management. So we jump straight to Hafidi then. You can see the tyres on that left-hand side. Very much a lot there on that front left. That is really what's killing the cars on this one. Let's go to Wind. Wind drops a bit more then. So Wind had a bit less tyre wear there. A bit more tyre wear there, sorry. It's a bit less tyre to play with. We then have Plebster, who it looks about the same. Although Plebster's other tyres are doing very nicely there in that Nissan GTR. Now, of course, if you're stuck in traffic, that tyre wear is going to be more extreme because you're going to have more understeer because of dirty air. Of course you are. And Plebster was out in the lead for quite a while, so that is expected. We then... Oh, wow. See, I was struggling. Look at that. 0 tyre wear on that front left. No wonder they were struggling. We cut them up very quickly. I've got very minimal tyre wear, very minimal tyre left there on that front left. Tiegi a bit more, but again, you know, everyone here was stuck in traffic. Timmy there, same sort of thing as me, so that's what to expect from the Supra, really. We've got Shelty with nice tyre wear. MR cars, obviously, it's going to be the rear tyres rather than the front. So the RCZ does very nicely in that sense. There, you can see that. We've got Mike, Harpic Mick there. That's a lot of tyre wear in the Supra, so really managing the tyres, although going a bit slower, so maybe that's the reason why for that. We've got Jindra. Struggles a bit with the tyre wear there. And then we've got Fusion Sniping. No front left there. It's definitely struggling in that car. Same for the AMG there. Front left gone. So that I wouldn't use the AMG here. Really struggles on tyres. And we have Ransom Hank, who's got the perfect tyres because they pit. Right, that's going to be it for this week's video, folks. I do hope you've enjoyed it. A bit different there at the end. There's no real bloopers to show you. There really isn't any bloopers because everybody raced clean, fair. There's some good racing action there. But there are 2 videos there to check out, including my latest one about Gran Turismo 8. My logo's there if you want to subscribe, and please do give it a like on the way out. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.